welcome back to the Moons family.
And here's another video, just sharing a day in the life of what we get up to. Today it's pretty dreary outside, but that's not going to dampen our spirits. We just want to say a massive thank you to everyone. We are over 20,000 subscribers, which is amazing. It's just been the most incredible journey. Thank you again so much, and thank you for sending in those lovely clips of what you get up to from everyone around the world. And if you've got any special messages, or you see any little bits of magic, or you just want to say hello to someone over this New Year period, the description or the link as Mummy Moon will put in at the end, so you can get onto that. But that really is a lovely way of spreading the magic and spreading the love. So thank you all very much. I'm here just about to assemble Rupert's metal detector, and we're going to go and look for some treasure, aren't we?
Yeah.
And then after that, the horses are having a duvet day, so they're staying in. We're going to take that opportunity to repair a few of the fences around the paddock. So watch your space. Right, we have, oh look, we've got all the bits. So one, the battery compartment behind the screen. Use a screwdriver to unscrew the cover. So we need, do you want to do it, Rick? I'll just show you the left. Right, so we are starting at the bit where the two herds can meet. We've got the normal guys, the legends that stay in, they're in these paddocks, and then the other ones can come down. And the other night they all broke out, and it was like, yeah, the Wild West. So this is the corner post, which you can see has gone over. I've got to replace this, redo the gate, and then redo this little bit of fencing behind me. The old willow tree that's standing there, one of the branches came down and took it out. So a little bit of a repair, and then hopefully it'll just keep them separated. So happy days. I'm standing here with Buddy. We called him Staz. He was a breeding stallion back in the UK. He's Epaland's right-hand man. One of his his old buddies from where they came from, which was the lady who owned Epalan and owned him at the time. Sadly, her husband passed away and we rehomed them both, and that was where the story of Legacy of Legends began. And yeah, so the thing with him is now you can see he's pretty content. He's a bit mischievous, very, very kind natured, but before, because he was a stallion, he had all those urges, and that meant that he couldn't mix with all the other horses. And here we had to try and keep him segregated as he was in his breeding life. But now, since having him cut, he hangs out, he's with Max, he can go with the other herd, he's been out with them and he enjoys mingling, and it gives him a proper life. He can actually be sociable with all the other horses, and he's much calmer in his temperament. So it was a bit of a gamble late in life. Normally don't have them gelded, as it's called, but it's paid off. Luckily he made it through, he got well, and he's settled, and now he's, as you can see, he's pretty chilled and enjoying life. So a real success story of here at the Legends, and we're really happy to have him. And he's a good old boy, and yeah, it's nice that he can bumble about with Max and live out his days being a sociable horse, whereas I say before that wasn't the option. So yeah, very happy. We've had a couple of comments, people mentioning, saying why don't we groom or get rid of the mud that's on the coats. We do groom them, and we have groomed them and we have bathed them, but at this time of year, with the weather being the way that it is and it's very muddy, they build up a natural, or they've got a winter coat, so they get a much thicker, hairier coat. It has a softer or thinner layer underneath which gives them insulation, and that becomes quite greasy or oily, and then the furrier stuff on top keeps the mud and the other stuff away from the skin. So it's a very effective, or nature's effective way of giving them a winter coat. So if you disturb that, what happens is you tend to brush out all those lovely oils, and you're actually pushing mud into places where it doesn't need to be pushed into. So at this time of year, it's all a bit rough and ready, but they're happy and they're going to be much better off just being left. You might have seen Mummy Moon clipped a couple of horses, so actually shaved the hair off, and that is with, I think, Magic and Epalan have had a clip, but they have really nice cozy rugs on, and what that means is they can have a groom. You might have seen Mummy Moon giving them a brush, but they come in and say they can then be groomed and have rugs on. These guys have a really cool, really nice winter coat, and they don't need that. So it's just horses for courses. Again, like we said, they're all completely individual, and it's just giving them what they require. So some horses, like these guys, do well, others don't do so well, so you just have to adjust your horse care accordingly. But that's what Mummy Moon's very good at. So yeah, that's why we don't brush them. I'm with the legend that is Epalan de Fouquet. We were just talking about different requirements of the horses. Mummy Moon gave these guys a shave and took off their winter coat, and the reason for that is that they're unable, as they get older, a bit like all of us, to control their body temperature proficiently. So what we can do to help them is we can shave the coat, which means they can also have a groom, but it means we can control them or help regulate their body temperature as much as possible by adding or subtracting, taking off or adding rugs as they need it. It works really well. These guys, Epalan and Magic, were both getting a bit hot and bothered because we've had those days where it's been really mild, kind of not right for this time of year, and because they've got the big fluffy coat, which they can't do anything, they can't get away from it, they were getting a bit hot and bothered. So hence shave the coat off, but then we can now help them and control them by, like we say, taking off or putting on rugs. So they do well, as we said, they're all completely different, but it's just being in touch with them. And Mummy Moon's a master at knowing what they need and then sorting it out. So yeah, it works really well, but like we say, they're all completely individual. Some do well with the coat, some without, but it's just being in tune with them and seeing how they're reacting. But like we said, the weather here has been, you know, unusually mild, which is strange for this time of year, but it also goes from being really, really mild to very, very cold. So if we get the heads up, or it's a nice clear evening, we know the weather's gonna the temperature's gonna really go down, we can add more rugs, duvets, whatever, get them all nice and snugly. If it's going to be a mild night, we can leave them as they are, and then putting them out in the field, the same thing. We can just keep them comfortable. So it's all about keeping that happy medium. And as we all know, we get older, our bodies are less able to keep that balance. So we just need to help them. Just a little update on the Camry. She lives to fight another day, so good news. It was just the thermostat was stuck. It didn't work in the piece of the engine behind the water pump. As it gets warm, it opens up and allows all the coolant to flow around the engine and the radiator. That didn't happen, hence I noticed the temperature shooting up and we pulled over. But it's really, really good news, because she does hold a special place in our hearts. She was gifted to us from a good friend who was also had been gifted the car from someone that unfortunately very sadly passed away in England, and it meant a lot to them, and it's just kind of carried that vibe on the whole way, and we're really happy to be able to preserve her and love her and keep her in the family. So happy days.
I wish you a happy Christmas. I wish you a happy Christmas. I wish you a happy Christmas. And I love Santa much. He's the best. He's the best. I love Santa. Merry Christmas.
Good morning, everybody. This is Denise in Helena again, Montana, and these are just a few of my turkeys that greet me every morning. Every morning. They knock on my door, wanting me to come out. Okay. Happy New Year, everybody.
Hello, kiddos.
Hello Moons and your thousands of followers. It's Boxing Day here in Wales. I'm not sure if you've reached Boxing Day where you are. Just want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year for 2023, going into 2024. And we will see you all soon. Merry Christmas, goodbye.
Bye, 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 bye.
Merry Christmas!